the Most High erected is tainted. The temple is tainted. Everything is tainted because the sins is there now. Verse 2.
Whilst the children remember their altars and their groves by the green trees upon the high hills.
So now the children, they don't even know anything but sin and idolatry. And notice all our churches, the different churches, got the word grove in it. Not even gonna go there today. Let's stick to the task. So the children now, they done got to the point now, they don't even remember anything holy. Everything they know is sinful, idolatry, pagan. They don't even know anything right. Don't that sound like us? Most of your kids can quote Future, but they can't quote Christ. They can quote Future, they can quote Wayne, but they have no idea what Paul said. Meanwhile, people in the hood, they can tell you everything about the laws of this country because they're constantly breaking them. But they can't tell you the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Our children don't remember anything. And our churches ain't teaching them anything. Verse 3.
O my mountain in the field, I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil, and thy high places for sin throughout all thy borders.
He said, now all your treasures that you got, since you want to do what they're doing, I'm gonna give your stuff to them. And all your little places that you got, your little groves where you worshiping these pagan gods, when you worshiping Easter, that's where Easter comes from. When you out there holding your orgies, laying all your eggs, that's where that comes from. While you're out there giving honor to these fallen angels, and Moloch, where you're sending your kids through the fire, sacrificing your kids, all those little high places that you got full of sin, I'm giving all of it away. All your treasures, everything you got, you're about to lose all of it. Verse 4.
And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou have knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. Thus saith the Lord.
Hold on, that's not right there. I'm just stopping for a second, because I hope all this is just sinking in. This is why we're doing recapturing our identity and our heritage. Because we see here, Jeremiah 17, verse 4, he said you're gonna lose your heritage. That's done. And ain't that where we are right now? We don't bit more know who we are. When we're looking in the mirror, we still don't know who he is. And when you try to tell people who they are, when you try to tell them the truth, they don't even want to hear it. Many people are rejecting the whole idea of them being Israel. It's because they understand that out of this so-called grace message, you can do anything. You just keep living however you want to do, and you're going to be in. We're all one people. Christ loves us all. But that ain't what the Most High said. This is not what the Word says. We lost our heritage. That's why we call ourselves by the color of our skins, instead of pointing to the exact people who we actually is. And we did that to ourselves. Now, in this same chapter, in verse 19, all the way to the end, the Most High in his merciful self, being his merciful self that he is, gave us one more chance to get it right before we went out. He gave us one more opportunity. And he told us about the Sabbath day. Now you notice that in all the 10 Commandments, they never tell you to remember not to murder, remember not to steal, but they always tell you to remember the Sabbath day and to keep it holy. Right? Well, this didn't just start today. This started a long time ago. That when they were serving all these other pagan gods and doing all this thing that was outside of the Most High, they forgot about the Sabbath day. And so through the prophet Jeremiah, the Most High said, listen, in verse 19, read verse 19 for us.
Thus said the Lord unto me, Go and stand in the gate of the children of the people, whereby the kings of Judah come in, and by which they go out, and in all the gates of Jerusalem.
In verse 20.
And say unto them, Hear ye the word of the Lord, ye kings of Judah, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem that enter in by these gates.
Keep going.
Thus saith the Lord, Take heed to yourselves, and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem.
Keep going.
Neither carry forth a burden out of your houses on the Sabbath day, neither do ye any work, but hath hallowed the Sabbath day as I commanded your fathers. But they obeyed not, neither inclined their ear, but made their neck stiff, and they might not hear nor receive instruction.
And see, you know what? I'm going to tell you what. Listen, I know you done messed up, and we told you time and time again. I'm going to give you one more opportunity. Stop going out there doing this pagan stuff on my day. Get back to the Sabbath, which is not Sunday, it's Saturday. The Lord's day is the Sabbath. He didn't change it. Constantine them changed it in 300-something AD. When they made it illegal for us to worship on the Sabbath. Go research it. The Most High didn't raise on a Sunday. Go read it. It's not what happened. Anyway, he told them, stop doing work, stop doing your trade with the nations, come back to me, honor my Sabbath. And they still didn't listen. So in 2 Kings, the 25th chapter, in your own time, you can go check that out, where our captivity began. We went from Babylon to Persia when the Persians took down the Babylonians. And during the time of Babylonians, Darius the king allowed Nehemiah to go back to Jerusalem and rebuild the wall, and we were able to come back into our nation. Then we had to deal with the Greeks. Then the Romans came. Now, even though the Romans came during the time, it was okay. Christ came on the scene, and we had an opportunity to one more time to receive him as a nation. And things would have been good. But we didn't. So he died for the sins of Israel, which we're going to go into next week. But the sins that were prophesied in Deuteronomy 28 chapter, those prophecies had to be fulfilled. Today we're going to conclude with Jeremiah the 30th chapter. In Jeremiah the 30th chapter, the Most High is declaring today and prophesying what he's going to do for us in the latter days. He never gave up on his people. Even though it was our fault, even though we caused it, even though we were the ones who did all of the mess, the Most High is still so merciful, and he's still going to bring us back. Start with verse 1.
The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord God of Israel, saying, Write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the day comes, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah.
Stop. Notice, right here. See, some scholars try to say that this is talking about Babylon, past. But it can't be. Because remember I told you, Israel is already gone in 721 BC. The Babylonians didn't come in until later on down the road. And they only took Judea because Israel was already gone. So you see here, this is future tense. This is a prophecy that is yet to come. Because of this prophecy, that's why I'm coming to you today. Keep going.
Saith the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words that the Lord spoke concerning Israel and concerning Judah.
Okay, so now what he's about to go into, the Most High is declaring what's going to be happening and what we're going through and why we have seen these things that are taking place ever since we've been in this country. Start at verse 5.
For thus says the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling of fear and not of peace.
Is that not us? Ever since our people have been in this country, have we not had the voice of trembling when they came up to our shores and stuffed us in the boats, drove us to a land that we knew nothing about? Was that not us? Trembling and fear and no peace. Verse 6.
Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child.
Now he's asking, the Most High saying, is it possible for a man to have a child? We know that to be wrong. And he answers it.
Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned to paleness.
When all of our people crying, being beaten with whips, looking outside at your granddad, at your father, at your son, being hanged from a rope. Grown men crying with their hand on their loins like a woman in travail. Don't that sound like what we went through? When the pastor shows up to his church Sunday morning to preach to his congregation, to give them some hope, and find out his church has been burned to the ground. When a farmer didn't want to get bullied no more, and he stood up for himself and his family, and he comes outside to a burning cross in his yard with a bunch of masked men standing around, dragging his kids out, dragging his wife out, putting a gun to his head, telling him, if you don't sell this land, we're going to kill you. Don't that sound like us? Don't it sound like all these mothers was having to bury their sons? Watch their sons go into prison, down in the streets, at the hand of our own and cops. Don't that sound like us? Verse 7.
At last, for the day is great, so that none is like it.